Pebble Time and Pebble Time Steel Review. When most people think of smartwatches, they imagine either the Apple Watch or one of the many Android Wear models available. Heavy advertising from Samsung, LG and Motorola has created the impression that smartwatches are futuristic playthings that you absolutely must have if you want to stay current with technology. However, current products can be frustrating because they need to be charged every night, and are usually bulky, overcomplicated and expensive. Before the bigwigs jumped into the game, there was Pebble, a tiny startup with a different idea of what smartwatches should be. Pebble conceived of a small device with a monochrome e-paper display which wasn't very slick, but could last a week between charges. An e-paper display meant that the Pebble could also stay on constantly, as opposed to other smartwatches that go into standby to save power, which means that even checking the time requires some positive action like a flick of the wrist to wake them up. The original Pebble was a huge success, raising over 100 times as much money as it needed on Kickstarter, long before products were even available for people to check out. It managed this because it had a clear and precise identity. It was first and foremost a watch, it had a simple interface, it showed notifications from your smartphone, and it supported third-party apps and enhancements. That was in late 2012. In early 2015 the company announced new models with color screens and slicker looks, the Pebble Time and Pebble Time Steel. Those two models as well as the original launched in India earlier this year, to the delight of fans who had to buy theirs abroad or order online and deal with import duties. However, just weeks later, the company announced its upcoming Pebble 2 and Pebble Time 2 products, making the ones launched here look outdated already. What do you get if you buy one of the existing models now? Would it be worth it to wait? We tested both the Pebble Time and Pebble Time Steel for months to bring you those answers. It's important to note that the Pebble Time and Pebble Time Steel are functionally identical. Both have the same innards, the same software, and the same capabilities. The difference in price comes down only to aesthetics and material quality. The Pebble Time is a lightweight plastic watch, while as its name suggests, the Pebble Time Steel is made of metal. Both are available in silver and black, with an additional gold option for the Time Steel. We reviewed a black Pebble Time and silver Pebble Time Steel. At first glance, the Pebble Time looks like it could be metal, but you'll know it's plastic the moment you pick it up. The top has a matte finish and there's just a hint of polish around the edges. It creaks a little when pressed, which isn't very reassuring. The Pebble Time Steel, on the other hand, is much more solid and will feel hot or cold on your skin depending on your surroundings, just like a metal watch. We preferred the material quality of the Time Steel, but the overall look of the Time. This was mostly because both devices have screens that are a lot smaller than their faces, and the Time masks this better with a bezel and screen border of equal thickness. The Time Steel has a thin bezel which makes the black border around the screen much more obvious. The plastic Pebble Time turned out to be extremely susceptible to wear and tear. We managed to accumulate a surprising number of nicks, scrapes and scratches in just a few weeks. We were disappointed, considering even the original plastic Pebble was much less easy to damage. Third-party wraps and screen protectors are hard to find in India, but it seems quite necessary to have some form of protection if you want to keep your Pebble Time looking good. Both watches have simple navigation controls. Much like early mobile phones, there are buttons only to scroll up and down, select an option, and go back. There's no touch or gesture recognition, which would have been nice. The buttons on the Pebble Time are a bit mushy, whereas on the Pebble Time Steel they're crisper and easier to use. The watches also have microphones for dictation. Unlike first-gen Pebbles, there's now a standard charging contact strip on the back so chargers are interchangeable. The charging cable snaps on magnetically, in either orientation. You get a silicone strap with the Time and a leather one with the Time Steel. Both straps have built-in spring bars with quick-release tabs so you can pop them on and off easily. The Time and Time Steel both use standard 22mm straps so you can buy your own and swap them out whenever you feel like. Sadly, Pebble doesn't sell the Time Steel's official matching metal watch bands, or for that matter, any accessories, in India yet.